The engine is starting up.
For launch. GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps. The cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you could need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hey, good morning to all of you out there this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody? I am Ed the Hitman Odell.
And I'm Ryan, the Freak Jones. Or at least on this show I am.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. And this is what's going down. This is the news broadcast show from the RNN that gives you monthly updated science, paranormal, supernatural, spiritual news, anything that grasps our idea that we think you really should do. We don't really do government, and we don't talk about religion per se, but the rest of it, we try to keep an open field, keep you in the loop.
I mean, if we talk about maybe alien disclosure or something like that and has to do with the government, that's probably where we draw the line as far as like, you know, what to talk about, but political stuff, we won't get into all that mess.
Yeah, we won't talk about the Epstein files.
No, you can go someplace else for that. I'll tell you what, it has been kind of slow as far as as far as news is concerned. I found a couple of articles, but basically, you know, they were about talking about a Bigfoot team, or I saw one that was really cool talking about the CIA and 31 Atlas.
Oh,
But I would try to when I would scroll down, my computer would make this weird like whirring sound
Oh God,
And
the government's got you, Ryan.
exactly, Big Brother is watching me, and half expected smoke to be coming out, or like Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
This message will self-destruct and sparks to start coming out my computer.
Well, I got to get that wave. That's a great wave. I got to get. That would be awesome. This message was self-destructive.
Yes.
I'm gonna write that down.
That would be a good one to have. But yeah, it's been kind of. I had a hard time finding good news articles. There is something, because I know you want to talk about some stuff, but have you seen the preview for the new Steven Spielberg movie?
Well, no, I think that's something I wanted to talk about. I like that idea of us dabbing into that and those type of things too. If y'all are just tuning in, come on in to the chat room, say hello, say hi, acknowledge. If there's something that you want to know, ask it. By all means, ask it. We'll find out the answer, and if we can't, then we will dive into it and see what we can do for you. So don't be shy. Come on into the chat room, talk with us. That's what this is all about.
We'll be your search engine.
That's right. Oh, good morning, Miss Michelle.
Here we go. Michelle. She was with me last night.
Oh yeah,
on our show.
Okay.
Yeah. We had broken wings.
Was she on the show, or was
no,
she?
She was just, it's just in the chat, but
okay. Yeah, I got to get her signed up and lined up for this thing. Her next episode on the R.I.F.T.
The Paranormal Apartment.
Yeah.
That's a cool series you guys got going there.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. I'm really impressed with her and how everything's going. I know I'm talking to you in third person, Michelle. I don't mean to.
We're talking about you, Michelle.
That's right. We're talking about you. At least I'm doing it in front of you, not behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really cool working with her. We got Ryan. You know, you sit there and seen what we've been doing. Rhonda has been really working with Michelle. I've been working with Michelle, and Michelle's been feeding us the information as we need. So if you haven't already, jump on over to check out Michelle Wilfong's and her haunted apartment. And it's a progressive series. It's really, really great.
Yeah, for sure. So, and always never a dull moment when you guys do that.
No, it's always
have that.
It's always something.
Exactly.
So talk to me about this new movie, the Spielberg. Let's chat about it.
Say, well, let me go ahead and show you the preview for it, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, because after that, I guess after this, we'll go see Tabitha.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Took me a second to realize who Tabitha was. I'm like, oh, the Sun Girl. That's right.
Doctor.
You go see Tabitha. Who's Tabitha? All right.
Hello, Doctor.
Here we go.
If you found out we weren't alone, if someone showed you, proved it to you, would that frighten you?
Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today. Let's. Today is. Today's.
People have a right to know the truth. It belongs to 7 billion people.
What is it?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. So I'm gonna show you.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world. All at once.
People keep wondering. Encountering the unknown.
They're coming! They're coming!
They are starved for the truth.
Do you think there could be others?
Why would he make such a vast universe? Yet save it only for us.
All right, so I have a question about that. Right there, there was one scene where I'm going to assume, was that a deer or antelope, or was
Like a
that a
deer.
figure with?
It looked like a deer. They're
Okay.
walking towards the house.
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
it was inside the bedroom.
Oh, yeah, I think it was a deer.
Okay. I'm sitting here going, because that's interesting, because I'm like, are they going to reach out and talk about myths and legends? Because, here in the state of Virginia, we got the myth and legend of the deer-headed man. So that's why I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to go down that road. But I think it might be one of the things where we're all on this planet together, animals and humans together, or maybe they're communicating through the animals. I don't know.
I don't know. It does look intriguing as hell. It really does.
Yeah, it's called Disclosure Day. That's the name of the movie, so that would kind of give away what it is. But it would. It is interesting that, especially with the way the alien came through, or whatever came through, the weather girl. I think it's played by Emily Blunt, and I figured that movie would be right up your alley.
Oh yeah, I love that because it's not the normal. So I think that's really going to, and we're going to see a lot of that Matrix style movies coming out more and more. People are getting more tuned in to fifth and sixth generation, sixth and seventh planes, getting into that whole working. I mean, look at the last 2 weeks. How many shows have spoken about dimensions by themselves? And in fact, Sunday we may be touching a little bit on that with the show we're doing, but I'm actually focusing on something that's intriguing me, and I got Rhonda involved, and now we've got this is the episode that Adrian Clayton joins us. So we're really going to be talking about something really interesting. And I don't want to talk about too much, but if you haven't already, you need to go to YouTube, look up Destination X, 7th season. And what this documentary does is opens your eyes to the background, to the things that happen behind the scenes, and why we don't have Destination X anymore. It was scary shit. And for some people, while other people are like, I knew it, I told you. And other people go, oh, this is bull crap. Really, I don't think it's bull crap. So it's going to be really interesting. Check it out. Check it out. Destination X. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, I was thinking Expedition X. And I was like, I just watched it the other day. But Destination X.
Yeah.
So not Expedition X. This is different. For those
Destination X. Dag on it. I can't believe I forgot his name. Josh Yates.
Oh, well, he does Expedition X too.
All right. Well, I'm wondering if this is that or this. What season did you watch?
I think the last, there was a new one that came out with Jack Osborne. But Destination X, that was I feel like it was a long time ago.
Mm.
Because I remember watching Destination X when I was living with Shannon.
Okay.
On like Travel Channel or whatever. But that was like 2012.
Oh wow. No, this is got to be the other one then. I thought it was Destination X. You know what? Why am I sitting here going, I think? Hold on a minute. Let's make sure we get
Expedition X is still on because I just watched that. Yeah. Destination X has been canceled for a long time.
Okay. Let me.
So now they have Destination Unknown on Travel Channel. Or Expedition Unknown, not Destination Unknown.
Yeah.
But that was early, like when Jaws had his team and everything, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. That's all right. You're right.
Is that Destination X?
Destination X. That was like really early, like one of his first shows, I think.
All right. Well, okay.
And you can't find it anywhere either. That's the thing. I've tried to find it, like reruns of it, and I don't know where it even is.
Oh, you know what? I forgot about yesterday. My God, I didn't realize how many.
Destination. No, that's not. That looks like Jeffrey Dean Morgan from
I stand corrected. You're
it
right.
American Reality Competition television series?
It is, I believe, series. It's 1 minute ago. Expedition X shutdown mystery final solved, and it's not good.
Is it? So is this what you're talking about? The adventure series with?
Hold on, let me cancel out of that. It must be. You know what? Screw this. Hold on a second. I just bucked out of
video.
Yeah, I didn't really want to because of Sunday show, but you know what? It'll lead into it, so why not? Hold on one second.
This is what you call a teaser or lead in.
Yeah, the lead in.
You want to see what happens next? You got to tune in Sunday.
You're right. And it's a good intro, I guess. So we're going to do this. It is by, I believe, this was 1 month ago. So, and this is it's Expedition, let's see, 1 minute ago. The truth behind why Expedition X was suddenly shut down in mid-investigation and finally been uncovered as for the worth and anyone's imagined. Okay, so let's check it out. Oh, pardon the Anglo-Saxon, it's too early in the morning. But,
Never too early.
Yeah. So did it come
up?
It
is Expedition X. Okay.
Ooh, okay. So
normal investigation, but within hours, lights failed, radios went dead, and the team was rushed out under direct command. That episode never aired the way it was filmed. Today, for the first time, Josh reveals what forced production to halt. Before we uncover it, hit subscribe so you don't miss the truth. Season 7 of Expedition X was supposed to be the most ambitious season yet. Ratings were at an all-time high, and the production team had approval to investigate a location that had been repeatedly denied in previous years due to reported safety concerns. According to internal planning notes later referenced by crew members, this investigation was chosen because it was considered the most extreme environment ever featured on the show. The area was remote, heavily forested, and miles from any established road. Equipment had to be transported in by off-road vehicles and then carried by hand for the final part of the approach. Even before cameras were turned on, crew members reported electronic interference, including unexplained battery failure on devices that were brand new. As the sun began to set, Josh Gates arrived on site to personally oversee the start of filming. His presence indicated that this was more than a standard episode. The plan was simple on paper: establish base camp, record environmental readings, monitor potential high-activity zones, and then conduct structured tests overnight. But within the first hour of filming, atmospheric readings began fluctuating sharply. The temperature dropped several degrees in minutes, despite no change in weather patterns. Digital meters registered spikes, resembling electromagnetic pulses. Crew noted what felt like vibration moving through the ground without sound. Josh reportedly paused filming and asked the crew not to speak as he watched the horizon.
And I'll leave that there. I don't want to go too far into it.
Do they tell where it is? Like,
yeah, no. The two locations that this is in 7 that never aired. In fact, this is one of the rare. Oh man. Okay, I'll get into it a little bit. This is one of the rare moments that Josh refused to have something put on air. He didn't even argue with the network producers. He yanked it out of the private room.
I don't even understand why they would do that, because if you're there for, paranormal stuff, why aren't you putting it out there?
That's why everybody needs to watch this documentary. It'll explain it on both cases. This is actually where one of the team members actually became, I want to say, spiritually, physically attacked. That's the best word I can use it, because it wasn't a physical, like we know, attack, but it wasn't a full-blown spiritual per se exorcism. So
I mean, that right there kind of like, it's like you go looking for evidence, and you're telling people, you're putting out what you're getting.
Yeah.
But then you get this other stuff, and you're like, well, I don't want them to people to see that. It's like, well, what? How do we know what you're not showing us?
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll explain that. I think I can, because once I do this, you'll understand. All right. So that's right, folks. We're talking a little paranormal before we bring out Tabitha. So
I went down the rabbit hole. I apologize.
No, it's okay. No, this is what we're about. So for Christmas, my fiance got me something completely off guard that I'm going, what?
Speaking of Christmas, hey, Howie, look at this shirt my sister got me. Check this out. Look. It says
What
peaches.
is that? What is it?
It says peaches.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah.
You got a peaches t-shirt.
Yep.
You know what's funny? We're promoting because you know what I'm wearing.
Oh, nice. We're going back to the 80s.
Yeah. Stranger Things. Here we go. It's going to get worse. All right. So you of all people know how I feel about this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is a cassette record player, you guys. This is exactly what this, and I'll get this in a good light, but its background is dropping it. But it's an old school
piece of ancient history.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what's really crazy? We sit here and we bought these for what, $12.99 at Radio Shack. And here we are going back and trying to seek out these unique items for purpose.
You know, Michael White gave me he moved out of his house. He had an old video camera, like with the reels. He gave me. Figure we may be able to use that for investigating.
Nice.
Old school video camera.
Hell yeah. You know what? We could get in depth on this one already. Because I was like, we can go that all the way to what we dealt with 13 years ago. But I don't want to keep that too going for those people who are tuning in, by the way. So let me get into that. What I just showed you has a little something to do with the actual show. And Josh and them actually kind of proved my theory with the recorders and video cameras. So I'm just like, all right, that's cool as hell. That is really cool. That's scary. And the reason I say that is because the movie you just showed, that Spielberg's about to come out with, they all are interlocking in some way. It's kind of weird. Now, bear with me. And everybody's going, what the hell are they talking about? The ironicism of all the situations that are taking place. We said that's not a lot of news, but maybe there's a lot of news that's just underlying. Because you wearing a Peaches shirt, I'm wearing a Golden Skillet shirt. You know, these are local big stores and restaurants back in the 80s and the 70s. Here we are with this stuff coming out. We have more of that coming out. We're looking at what we should have done back in the 70s and 80s with certain things and how I think we were really on target. So it's interesting how we end up with Stranger Things and look what's happening. Look what's kind of building up.
Do you think like they don't put the stuff out because they don't want us to know everything? Like there's stuff like, okay, you can put these shows out, you can show that ghosts exist, but to a point. You can show all this stuff, but to a point. We don't want, this is what I'm talking about government.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want the populace to know everything.
I think the reason that is, and a lot of people have said this too, is because they're afraid of how the general public will respond to it. Fearfully, or we know there's certain groups of people who will say, oh, we're going to go hunt it and shoot it and bring it down. Then there's other people that will freak out like it's the end of the world. You have these two colossal mentalities crashing into something. That's a sign for chaos. It really is. So if they acknowledge there are other cryptics cryptoids, other things beyond our known plane or dimension. Yeah, I think they're worried about that. Also, we know that they've learned how to control the general public because of how the church, from way back when, the 1400s on through, whatever, controlled the masses. The
Yeah.
church has always controlled what you know and things. Now it's kind of changed, is it? It's kind of still the same, but they learned the tactic, and they know that fear mongering can control you. The lack of information can control you. So, yeah, I think it's a
You-
very good possibility.
Do you think the more, open people get, the more the fear mongering will ramp up to try to push it back down again?
That's always the case. That's not even a question mark. That's always the case. It's like letting the dinosaur out of its big cage. So if they can't control the mass, then they can't control themselves, which means they can't. Oh boy, okay. Which means they can't control the money. They can't control certain other aspects of our lives. That means we're taking control back to us as a general citizen of the world. May I hint that not just America, but of the world. So I do think that they are worried. They're worried on so many other levels because if when and if we find out that there's more beyond this 3D plane, I'm not saying everybody's in the 3D plane. I'm just putting it out there. Um, in this 3D plane, if there's something beyond it, what does that mean? That means everything they've taught us and are telling us and all this is false. It's fake. Um, just like if we found out that they went to Mars instead of the moon, what purpose did it serve? Or would it serve them to tell us that they went to the moon when they could just told we went right to Mars and well the technology is too great and we're not that advanced. Well, why not admit the advancement? Because perhaps, okay, you got me on a rant. Perhaps the admitting of the advancement in our world can advance everything and move us forward much more than where we are now. And that's including how we respond and treat each other.
Mhm.
If we saw the truth, maybe we respect each other a little bit more than we do now.
And if we're busy fighting each other and, we're not truly paying attention to what really matters. They have, left versus right, all this stuff, and it's takes up so much of our time just getting mad about the stupidest stuff.
Well, so that's it. It's taking up our time. Okay, you're right on target. I'm going to use this. Last year, someone that you and I both know, I stated a simple comment of what you're saying. We don't matter. We are 50 years old. We should not be acting like kids. It doesn't matter. They don't think of us. We don't matter to the mass. What you just said is correct. Absolute correct. If we put that petty bullshit aside, this society will actually move forward on where it should be. And not held by anger, frustration, jealousy, contentment, the whole nine. What if we got rid of all of that? And we all know that the Nazis and doctors here in America in the 40s and 50s were trying to do that with gene splicing, which is unethical by all fucking means. Because we're all individuals. We have the right to live as we wish. And certain people maybe are here. Maybe, you know what? Maybe people with Down syndrome are trying to teach us, are here to teach us humanity. How many of y'all have ever thought about that? Just take a moment. And if you don't know someone with Down syndrome, go on YouTube, look them up. They're a lot stronger than you think you are. But it's just an example. Just an example. Do this to a cover up that? Yeah, well, it's always that. Absolutely. Yeah. If we took the initiative to understand that we only see 30% of all true color that's ahead of us, if we took the initiative Stargate and outside of Stargate project. I will say that Stargate Project Stargate, to look beyond our natural world and try to understand what's out there beyond what we think, they would lose control again, because then they would not have control over anything, because we had taken it all back. But would it set us back to the point of where it all starts over again?
That's a good question. I mean, there's so much out there to distract you from what's really going on. And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the Expedition X. There's something happened that they didn't want us to see.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Josh's did Josh want to keep it out, or did Josh want to keep it out because he wanted to keep his job?
Wow, that it explains it. I can't talk but too much about it till Sunday, but I can say it is interesting to me on how it was a mixture of political influence and network bigwigs and Josh going back and forth, hearing, discussing. You actually get to hear both points of view, which you rarely get to hear the network bigwigs, side, the documented side of what they say. You only hear, take for Jason and Grant, for instance, you only hear about Jason and Grant. But what about the network executives behind there? What about the network executives that gave them 4 vans? But then on the flip side, as some crew members of that television series said, made them or forced them to fake certain situations and scenarios. Oh, that was well said. Oh, so proud.
Very good.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And it's not everything is as it seems when it comes to TV shows. And I'm glad I'm glad they bring attention to them. And I'll watch Expedition X. I love that show.
Yeah.
But once you start investigating yourself and doing it on your own, it just you view them from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Than I did before when I started investigating.
I agree with that, because you've opened yourself up to it. And that's the whole thing that I was referring to, is when we open ourselves up to mind, periods, theories, and understanding, not only do our lives grow, but we grow and we mature as people. We still have triggers. Those situations still got to have triggers. And you need to learn to release or drop and release. Ryan, you're really good at that. You don't really let a lot get to you. That kind of bothers me, because sometimes you internally hold shit in, but it's understandable. And I know why you do it. Where some of us are just blast free. We just shoot it out. I've come to finally get to that point where, okay, I'm going to say what I have to say. And, that's it. Unfortunately, my speech to text doesn't always say what I want it to say. And
you have to kind of decipher what you're saying sometimes.
It's true. And then I look back and it sounds like I'm ripping and touring into something, or I am a complete moron. I'm going, what the hell did I even say now when I'm speaking in regular? I think it's the accent, and I've seen this before with it. It's the accent on how I pronounce my words. It's that northern southern slang that's mixed up. I don't know where the hell I got it from, but boy, does it tear up Texas speech. Whoo! Yeah.
No, I'm the same way, because I got my mom's from Michigan, my dad's from down here. So I've got the both of them.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Michelle. Yeah, good point. Michelle's right. I mean, the drama with Jason H on the social media.
I'll bet Jason is just so sorry he got involved with the Conjuring house.
Actually,
I know what he's doing it for, but it seems like it's such a headache for him right now. And
it's because he's doing it because of Cody and his daughter. That's what this is all about.
I mean, plus I guess Andrew Perrin begged him just to try to buy the house, and he didn't want to do it, but he was like, "Fine, I'll."
Well, here's the thing. Do you know who she is?
She was one of the Conjuring.
Okay, all right. I'm
people.
just making sure.
Yeah.
It's funny how we have actually connected with certain people in this field that were connected to these big cases. It's just intriguing.
I've talked to the previous owners of the Conjuring house on the show a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, hopefully it works out. I mean, I don't really know if like Elton Castay or Matt Rife bought the Conjuring house, if it would really be that bad. Because they own the Warren's house right now. I'm not sure what they're pricing it as, but I don't know.
It's the same thing as would it be just as bad as the guy who owns Lizzie Borden house, who owns Ghost Adventures or United States? How is it? American Ghost Adventures?
It's Ghost Adventures something.
Yeah, and we know the theoretical business attitude of that. Could that be bad? I'm sure. I mean, I don't care for it. And I don't care for the practices, but would it be good? I don't know. I don't know if it'd be good for any spiritual paranormal person to own that home. I don't know.
I mean, I think honestly, it's making a big deal out of it. And it's not any more important than any other paranormal location, just because it was in a movie.
Well, it did have something big take place there, but supposedly took place there. Just saying, like a lot of the places, that sometimes they're more hyped than what they really are. So to clarify, I'm not bipolar or on tripolar. What the hell are you talking about, Michelle? I understand. I am tripolar. Okay.
Okay. That's funny.
Makes me wonder, with all of the drama, what is the truth and what are they hiding? Well, that's
Exactly.
that's the other thing. It is hiding the truth of who somebody is, their true intent, their true actions. And people cloud it so much that those people that have true intent are still seen in a bad light, because unfortunately people listen to people. That's just the way it is. So
a lot of people listen and they don't do their own research. They automatically, if someone puts a picture of Keanu Reeves and puts a quote on a meme, they automatically think, "Oh, he said that, so it's got to be true."
Yeah,
and
it's interesting how much power social media does have, and in today's society. I can't just say that, because again, like I said, there's groups of people getting together and talking shit about this one person, or talking personal about this other person. That it depends on how it's asked. I mean, for instance, somebody will come up and ask my opinion. It's not the same thing as a fact. I'm saying? It's my opinion, because what I felt like I experienced comparatively to the other situation, person thing, could be completely different. So I tell them, this is my opinion. You got to develop your own on your own thought. And like you, Ryan, there's others who be like, look, I don't want to hear this, and I don't want to hear this. Y'all are right here. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's the way it should be. But I think when people think that they can rely and trust in someone, their mouth becomes flabby.
Yeah.
So they get comfortable and they're like, oh, I can talk to you about anything. When maybe the best thing is to, before you do that, think. And that's where this all stems from too. We don't police ourselves as good as we should. And that means, maturity, spiritually, physically. 53, getting ready to go on 54. I've gained 30 pounds. What the hell is that all about? Why is certain things happening? Why am I gaining the weight? well, there's actual scientific reasons, medical reasons why I am, and I would have never thought it. I'm like, oh, it's just because I turned fit. No, 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 no. It's what I'm eating, what I'm processing. So, what about that? What you're taking in, what you're eating mentally is still affecting you. And you might not even think about it. You might even know it. It's in your subconscious.
I mean, yeah. I mean, as far as like what you eat, you get so used to eating certain things, and you have to get into a certain mindset to be like, okay, I can't go get a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the kind of guy who will eat a cheeseburger, and then after I'm done eating it, it'd be like, oh, yeah, I should have gotten a salad or whatever. But it's always after the fact that
Yeah.
after I've already done it, you know, and
that's the way with a lot of stuff, brother. It really is. I mean, we don't, not everybody's the same. Not everybody's body is the same. Like, I didn't realize certain things, like how bad that certain breads and pastas and all that are for me. Wow. Gaining weight and creating cortexes in my stomach. What does that mean? I don't know. It's instant gain weight. You're not gaining weight, your body's producing the weight. And it's really intriguing. You're just like, holy crap, it has nothing that has to do with exercise. It actually does with your mentality and what you're eating. And I'm like awestruck. I completely changed my whole mentality.
I wish there was, you know how you go to AutoZone or whatever, and you push something in to the car, and it reads exactly what you need. I need one of those. And be
You
like,
want
okay,
an
eat more chicken, eat more of this, eat more of that. You said your body, each body is different.
Mhm.
How did you figure out the pasta thing? What made you realize I can't have this pasta, but can't have that? What was it?
Oh, no, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Here recently, I went to go see a local doctor because I had other things going on. And she explained to me a lot of other different things because they did run tests. So there are tests are done. She went through my blood and she asked me my food rituals, if you will, and even times the whole nine. Come to find out, for the last couple years, this is going to sound bad. I'm just going to put it like this so I don't go too in depth on the whole purpose of reasoning. I'm a binge eater. So if I'm nervous or I'm upset or emotional, I'll either eat a lot or I won't eat at all. So I come home after work, after working an hour 8-hour shift, and I get home at 12:30. First thing I'm doing, I'm grabbing a snack or eating something. Not good, because that means only an hour later I'm going to bed at the earliest. Okay. Well, in that process, those sugars that I just took in, the bread or whatever, is now concentrating and changing into something completely different, which is feeding the candida and other uh, elements in your stomach and in your nervous system, which causes a chain reaction going on. Why are you doing it? Well, there's a reason for here and a reason for there. And the other part is, I opened that up because of the heart attack. It wasn't even a heart attack. It was vascular issue. That's the best way to put it. But the doctor and I talked really good about the whole thing. And she's like, your sugar level here is too high. You need to change this. You need to change that. And I'm like, I knew about sodas. Look, I know about sodas. We all know about sodas. It doesn't matter what soda you drink, it's going to make you fat, people. I'm not going to lie to
So
you.
good, though.
Yep. It is so good. And that's the
Pepsi this
problem.
morning.
I'm so addicted to Pepsi, man. But what people don't understand is when you let it sit and you reacted against certain acids, watch what it does. So that's what it's doing in your gut. It's expanding.
I mean, I'm fat. I can barely see my feet. I'm so, you know.
Okay. TMI, dude.
I mean, it's true. It's been, I'm not. It is what it is, man. But it's if you don't pay attention to that stuff, and we there's a YouTuber I watch every day for 14 years, and it was a daily vlogger. His name was Adam the Woo, and he passed away on December 22nd. He had just done a video where he ran around with the Grinch, and and he seemed perfectly healthy. And his friend had come to visit him, and he didn't answer the door, and finally he had to take a ladder and climb up his second story window where he was, and he found him. And it's like,
now, was it natural or did he?
I think it was natural.
Okay.
But just goes to show, you never know what tomorrow is going to bring, and you've really got to pay attention to your health. And
that's kind of opened me up too. And I'm really taken, the heart attack was keep going out, whatever, was a huge wake up call. I mean, huge wake up call to my body, changed everything I should change. I went through whatever I went through that first year. Then the second year I went into, I can do whatever I want. I don't have to listen to bull crap. And I had a fun year. I had a fun, incredible year hanging with everybody and doing my thing. And then the second year kind of went back into a structured way of things. And then there were some issues with that situation. The whole time I've got, Sarah in the back, I got to get here, but she's supporting me, but it's not a whole lot she can do at that distance right then. It was at 3 hours away. I was trying to make it work, where now I'm here and I'm finally settled in and got an amazing job. I've had 2 amazing jobs. Let me rephrase that. I went almost 2 months without a job, and suddenly 2 jobs just drop right there. And I can't be more thankful than the job I have right now. And now Sarah's settling in over at the hospital and into what she's doing. And, we've got new worries that have come up, now money and stuff that Trump's cabinet. I'm going to rephrase that. Let me repeat that. Trump's cabinet has put into play. Hey, good morning, Linda. Where there's going to be loans that have to be paid right away, or they're going to go into certain things when it comes to college loans. And she's sweating about it. I'm like, you're sweating about something that you don't need to sweat about, but you're thinking about it. And I know what she's doing, because she's doing what my mom used to do to keep the money and keep everything flowing. She doesn't have the money. I get it. I see a lot of people do it, and I should be doing the same thing. I don't have the money to do it, so I can't. But when in fact you really do, but you need to sit on that.
Yeah.
So, taking in that consideration, we do have a huge wedding to pay for. We do have an amazing vacation we have to pay for. So I'm like, touche. I get what you're worried at, but still, I think we've got the nest behind us that's being rebuilt again to comfort. But how many people are out there stressing about it? And stress is a destructive thing in our body. Oh, so destructive. I mean, I'm just glad I'm going to the gym now and getting back into that, because even you still got to take meds, man. When you break a certain age, your metabolism goes straight to crap.
Yeah.
So you got to start taking your vitamins and your supplements and all that. So, I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way with the world anyway.
So before we go, it's like 11:50. You want to go check in with Tabitha? Because I know,
Yeah, we can check in with Tabitha and shoot a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're going to bring old Tabitha back up in the house. Let me get her set up here. Tabitha Scoff is a doctor of astrology and astrophysics. And we've been following her for the last year. They deliver incredible information, and it keeps you updated, because believe it or not, especially if you're in the spiritual, supernatural, and the paranormal, believe it or not, this could be a very good tool and your best friend. A lot of people tend to don't think that's the truth, but electromagnetic forces coming from the sun is a big deal. So is solar storms. So with that being said,
We're in the middle of a series of solar storm glancing blows that are keeping things interesting. And some big flare players that were expected to return, well, they're already grabbing our attention. Those stories and more are in this week's forecast. If you want to learn how weather from our star causes impacts at the Earth that shape the future of our world, join Professors Dr. Jenny Meehan, Michael Cook, and myself as we guide you through a space weather certificate program like no other. To enroll in the Space Weather and Environment Science program offered at Millersville University, go to millersville.edu/SWEN. It's weather for the 21st century. This forecast also sponsored in part by CW Ops. Space weather this week is giving us a bit of a refreshing surprise. As we take a look at our Earth-facing disk, we have been dealing with the coronal holes. You can see like big finger-like coronal holes right here. A couple days ago, it was giving us some fast solar wind from this end right here, and now this part of it is rotated in through the Earth strike zone, and it's going to be giving us some fast solar wind over the next day or so. But notice that the coronal hole isn't the only thing we're dealing with. Region 4334 has been sandwiched in between these two fast solar wind streams, and it's got a very interesting configuration. In fact, if I back it up just a little bit so you can see the magnetic field lines a bit better, notice it looks like there's all these coronal arcades here, kind of loops that sit above and kind of flip all the way around, almost as if they're encircling this region, almost like a flower. That kind of configuration magnetically makes for some very interesting solar storm launches, because what it does is it causes things to launch all the way around this loop, and that's exactly what we start seeing here over the last few days. In fact, we started seeing launches of small solar flares and solar storms from this region right about the 5th, but right about when we got to the 8th, that's when things started getting interesting. So as we take a look here on the 8th, you'll see, boom, right there, there's a little bit of a solar storm launch. You can see kind of the dimming region in here like this. That evacuated the southern portion of it, and up here in the west, you can watch it there. But notice in the north, you also get a bit of evacuation. So we're getting kind of like a C-shaped thing going on all the way around this region, and then it still wasn't done. A few moments later, boom, you can see another evacuation here in the northwest. So we had like kind of a three-part structure coming at us, and that's what's been giving us the bumpy ride thus far. As we take a look at this in our kind of our flat view, it gives you a little bit of better feel for it. You can see this big filament right here. This is just below that region. Here's the region right in here, and you've got this magnetic configuration circling all the way around it. Well, it was really this region that kind of destabilized in this filament. You can see it right here. It actually gained a bit of material from, believe it or not, a far side blast, which destabilized a whole bunch of other stuff, including this really teeny tiny filament you see way here in the background. But that fed some material over here, that destabilized this. This whole thing goes, as you can see, whoosh, just like that. There it goes. Plus you get a dimming region up here. This is actually in the northern part of the section. When you lay it flat like this, it looks a little confusing, but this is the moving down to the south part of the sun, and this is right up in the near the equator. It's pretty funny when you look at it this way, but you can see the dimming region quite extensively, and then you can get that third part, boom, right there. You can see yet more dimming here now on this side. So you had a three-part launch, and it made it very interesting because it was all kind of circulating around region 4334, and that kind of magnetic complexity always leads to very interesting storm impacts. Now, as we take a look at our coronagraphs, you can see here was an earlier launch that went to pretty much to the south of Earth, but that gave us a bit of a bumpy ride when we got that fast solar wind. Then we had a massive far side blast. You see this? We had a full halo all the way around the sun. You can see it here. This is from old region 4321, which we'll be talking about shortly. But this is the blast that kind of destabilized some filament material that then leaked into that filament that ended up launching on the front side. Funny how things get connected like that. But that blast, and then we started seeing the big solar storm launches from this region. Sadly, most of these solar storm launches weren't really all full halos or even all that strong. So we weren't expecting that much, but we have managed to get bumped up to G2 levels from the storms from this region as they've been hitting us back to back to back.
So some of you may not understand what you were saying. Ryan and I have really spent the time in the last year, and I'm just starting to understand all of that information. I think it's really cool. About how the sun actually works and interferes with us here and its quadrants. That's what those numbers are. They're all quadrant specific targets on the sun that either give a high, low, or the schematics. So it's grouped in a tract with numbers. It's so amazing. Such a cool thing. And that is, if you're a paranormal and a spiritual researcher, this is very handy because, like everything else, your equipment is affected, and not a lot of people even take that. And hardly anybody takes this into effect. You hear some people go, "Oh, it's the solar," and they're like, "Well, they don't even know what the hell that means." Go look; it'll tell you. What are you ready for? What are you walking into? What are we being affected by? And humans too. We as humans are affected by EMF and solar flares daily. I will ask Ryan. I will yell at him in a heartbeat and saying if we got a huge solar storm coming. It's just with him and the team there in Richmond, the two teams he's with. Good information it gives you heads up on what to.
There's so much information out there. When does it come to a point where it's too much information? It's like, well, this is this, and this is this, but this is this, and this is this. It's almost like, oh my God, just go, and if stuff happens, great. If not, that's good too. Because
I guess it all depends on what experience you want. That's a valid point. There are 3 different types of investigations. It's true. Those who are in or have dealt with paranormal, and they're structured in teams and groups. You have the standard going in and just wanting to have the experience. Then you have the people going in wanting to have the experience but trying to figure out why, what, blah, blah, blah. And then you have structured teams that are going there. They have books, they have dialogues, they have equipment. They're
they'll test the soil outside. They'll test the water. They'll go and they get all these things all over the place, and it's like it takes 3 hours just to go through all the readings they have before they start investigating.
Yeah. So they scientifically can say, yes, it's either active or non-active, and it's non-active because of A, B, and C, and D. Or it's active because of A, B, C, or D. It's a trifactor. So
yeah, there's one team around here that they don't even go in the house. They put all their stuff. They put the recorders in. They put all their stuff in. All the meters and all the equipment in the house, and they just go and they sit in their van. And that's just another way to invest. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying that's just how some people approach in investigating.
I completely forgot the initials on that team. Nope, I got it.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't going to say it because I'm not trying to.
No, they're one of Virginia's oldest organized paranormal research teams, and absolutely, and I give them credit because they have members from R.I.F.T and others, and the majority of them are true scientists, true college-based scientists. So they've got a good form, they've got a good background, but it's a good point, Ryan. You and I have even talked about this. What's the condition of just putting equipment in, being able to analyze it from outside to inside, and you're taking out the human interaction and human effect. So benefits and disbenefits, what are you getting? Is it the human that's involved or it's something else?
Yeah.
That's why we need people specializing in different things. Bringing all the info together isn't it easy? That's a valid point, Linda. That's a valid point. The problem is not all of those people can work together. That's the hard part. The one thing that I will say is I'm finding it humorous that all the cryptids and the ufology, they're clashing. Like one's better than the other, etc. And then you bring in the paranormal people that bring it all in, and then it's like groupings of pockets of. It's just like, dude, your shit just as crazy as my shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we should be kind of coming together, not, high school drama bullshit where, oh, well, this is more important. No, it's all, we're all kind of the same boat here.
It's true, but there's levels, and I say it like that. There are levels of narcissism that people have to deal with, and self-centeredness and social conflict. Some may have low, some may very high, may medium. It all conflicts, and that's where the coming together like-minded people really does clash, because not everybody gets along. If we could, that would be great, and you can make the effort, and you want to try to make the effort. By all means, make the effort. But there's just times, and you acknowledge that and move on.
Yeah.
You've had that experience.
We were talking about earlier, different taste, different different mindsets.
Yeah.
We're all different people.
Mhm.
We're not all going to vibe with each other. But the best thing to do, if you don't like someone, leave them alone.
Right. You don't need to talk shit. They don't need to be talking shit about you. Groups or individuals. Let me say that out loud. We're not talking just individuals. We're talking groups too. Okay. And we know people talk about people. You know what? Just leave it alone. You perceive yourself more mature. Others will see. I just did a Yoda. And we'll see comparatively to what you lash out and talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely. And apply that in every day. You can apply that in the field. You can apply that to your research, no matter what kind of research you're doing.
I could say that a lot about a lot of people who write stuff down on Facebook.
Yeah.
Some of these posts people are making, like, I could say something, but I'm not going to, because I don't need to go down that. There's no arguing with stupid people. It's kind of,
we all
leave
learn
that shit alone. Yeah.
We all learn our own things, don't we?
Go down that rabbit hole, that's for sure.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm done with that.
Well, this show's got me excited for your show on Sunday.
Yeah, I think so. Everybody knows I'm about to actually promote the show and put it out there this afternoon. Adrian Clayton from the Things Network. She has a series with us that she comes over to the show periodically, and she just straight talk. She gives her opinion, and we talk about different aspects in a positive and negative way, how it affects us, just like Ryan and I talked about today. And she's got a really great insight, and us three really jive really well. So it's going to be a great show, looking into this and figuring out, what really is out there. Because, I went to my guys and I showed them, they're all watching the video, but then I came across another video and I showed it to them, and two of them are like, you sure this is not AI? And question. I'm like, valid point, guys, but I didn't post this for that reason. I posted as a similarity, comparing, contrasting. And then everybody was like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, I need to clarify sometimes better of my intent. That I'm learning that now too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need to clarify what exactly I'm trying to get out of my head or what I'm saying. So I'm like, all right, work on that one.
Yeah, I've got the same problem sometimes. Sometimes I have a hard time getting out what was in my mind out into the world where people can understand it. So you've got on Sunday. Then tomorrow night on TikTok, Rhonda and I are talking to Holly Mullins, talking about the 12-year anniversary of the Freaking Awesome Paranormal Show.
12 years.
12 years. It's
Damn.
It's crazy.
Would you ever think you would have made it 12 years?
Shit, I didn't think I was going to make it 12 months.
I know.
12 days, to be honest with you. But,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
To watch the progress of that show and to actually have it in here with us. I'm just like, wow, look at that progression. That's
we're having so much fun with the teams, and just, it's like when I don't do the show, if I have to miss it for some reason or another, I feel like something's missing. I can't wait to get back on and start. Before I was dreading it almost, like, oh my God, I got to do the show.
Yeah.
But now it's like it's definitely a lot of fun. So,
well, Nat, happy anniversary, sir.
Well, thank you very much.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much, guys. This was fun. Another fun. I'm glad we're doing this again. I was kind of like, man, I hope we get back to doing the What's Going Down podcast, because I think
luckily that schedule worked out where
Yeah.
we can get back on doing our regular groove. You know, I was worried about how it was going to work out when I was with Johnson & Johnson. There was no way that was going to happen. But now that I'm with this present company and back on a great shift, I'm like, score, let's just do this. I can ride again.
Thank you, Linda.
Yeah. So
speaking of riding again, I gotta ask: Are we going to ride again?
Yep.
We're going to ride again. Okay.
I'm working on that.
All right.
Again, it goes back to what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? And I'm
If
working.
you know.
Yeah. So Paranormal Outlaws will be returning very soon. That 1 month series. So will G3. G3 with myself, Ronnie Anderson, and Sean Elliott.
They're doing some good things over there on Hill City.
Oh
sure.
yeah, they're huffing it, man.
Yeah, they're
making a name.
definitely going out there, making a name for themselves for sure.
And then you know what? I know them personally, so I can tell you it's not the intent on what they want. So when I say that, they're not trying to be this big cootie group. They're not trying to be popular and all that. It's just naturally happening for them. And I can understand that because they have
natural progression.
Yes, exactly. Their personalities naturally draw people in, and it's gonna just continue. And both Court and Sean are hardworking people, hardworking. So they're gonna make things happen. Sean's got all that more new documentary coming out, and Court is working on new stuff.
Thanks, Linda.
Oh, thank you, Linda. It's okay. No, I mean, a lot of people were expecting us not to even be on air. So I'm glad we were able to get back on it. We had to adjust time schedules and all that. We found out that we can return back to our regular time slot. And actually, this show, it was actually designed just as we're doing right now, as a talk it out. Yeah, talk it out, whatever. But now we've got the news going and bringing much weekend to you every month, and we'll continue.
Yes.
So on that note, brother man, I ain't gonna hit the happy trails to you
until we meet again.
Until we meet again. Travels and those like
this.
Yes, sir. Travels and those like. Thank you for tuning in. Check out the shows throughout the week. Check out the new shows that are about to come to the network. Yeah, we're expanding again. Check out our new show on Monday nights at 9:00 with Cindy Waghorn. What a great spiritual show that really is. And you also know we have a new expanded show on Friday night. The version of History, Haunts, and Horror, the version of Tales from the Old Rocket Chair, airs on Friday nights now. Get your tales of all of the interesting, spooky stuff. And at times, get to talk to the author of that book. Can't get any better than that. Then we got some other stuff coming down. We're not even sure. Love Shack may be returning. That would be really cool if we can bring Love Shack back, adding that element. And we also may have an economic show for the future that's coming.
Wow.
That's a little secret in the bag for you.
Just between us. Don't tell anybody, guys.
That's right.
Just a secret. Yeah. Keep it on down low.
Yeah, there. Yeah. So, until then, we'll see you guys in a month.
Sounds good. See you later. Bye, guys.